Every doctor has that one patient that they'll always remember.
This is no war zone, but you will take some friendly fire.
You say I need to get my head examined?
Do you?
Probably.
Yes, I'm used to having an exit strategy.
You okay?
It's a little hard around the holidays.
I don't know how you found her.
Should have told you before.
Sometimes you don't know the value of a moment until it becomes a memory.
You're like a Christmas miracle.
A Christmas miracle. Had the beat. That's what I love about this part of the year. I am a Christmas story, Hallmark movies and mysteries junkie. And so whenever, I mean, this is the stuff I watch for escapism. Because right outside my door is some chaos. So I turn on Hallmark. And then when I get to see friends that are starring in these movies, it makes it that much more warmer. And the friend I'm speaking about, HB, this person is known for everything from acting on Hanging with Mr. Cooper. I love that because Mr. Cooper was from Oakland. I knew she was one of us. 21 Jump Street. Come on, man. We waiting for the remake. They remaking everything. They should be remaking 21 Jump Street and Hanging with Mr. Cooper with her in it. Also an advocate for autism and an amazing mom and amazing wife. The one and only Holly Pete. Holly Robinson-Peete. I'm sorry. I can't forget the Robinson.
I go by all that.
You go by all that. She's on the show.
I go by all that.
Yes, indeed. Holly, how you been?
Oh, man, I've been great. Thank you so much for having me this morning. I'm excited to just be talking to you. I love talking to you.
Oh, man, that's great, man. I don't know if you're at home right now or
yes, at home with my dogs sitting around me. You know how we do.
What kind of dogs y'all got?
Oh, we got a pit mix rescue. I got a golden doodle. And then I'm still not over my big giant Newfoundland who we lost last year. You know, when you lose a dog, boy, that's just the worst thing ever.
Oh, shit, man. I know we go all, Heather lost her dog not long ago. I lost dogs. Man, it was so bad for me. I used to breed dogs, but anytime one would pass away, I couldn't take that, so we stopped breeding dogs.
It's too painful. It's just too painful. They give you all that love, and then they go, and it's like, what? So it's too much. I want to get a new puppy. My husband is like, no, don't. We can't take any more heartbreak.
You can't take the heartbreak. I was at, and this is my last Heather reference, but I was at her house this weekend, and Heather, I don't want to just keep referencing you, but she got a cat, Holly Robinson-Peete, and the cat was downstairs with me and her husband, Horace, and we were just having a regular conversation building, and then the cat jumped on the couch, jumped in my lap as to imply for me to rub the cat. So I start rubbing the cat. While I start talking, I took my eyes off the cat. Heather, does this sound familiar? As soon as I took my eyes off the cat, your cat start biting me. Why is that? What is that?
Because my cat is a untrained rescue who pretty much is just roaming around the house, living off the fat of the land, and it's just not trained. But to Holly's point, hey Holly, it's Heather. Thank you for joining us. So I didn't say hi. I didn't say hi first.
I didn't
Go
know
ahead. I'm sorry.
Heather, I didn't know you could train. You said untrained. I didn't know you could train a cat.
You can't train a cat.
You know why, Holly? I didn't know you can because my mom literally had our cat trained. So here's the deal. I grew up having cats. My mother didn't want a dog in the house for all of these cleanliness issues or whatever. As soon as we got married, though, Holly, we got a dog. My husband loves dogs. We lost 2 dogs in 20 years. So I was done. I'm like, no more dogs. And but my husband was like, well, I don't want a cat. You wanted the cat. I said, well, it's my turn now to have a pet. And I was like, you don't care the same. Not to sound harsh, but I was like, I didn't cry the same when the dogs passed, like when my cats passed. And so this cat is just, I was unable to train him. My mother had our cats train Holly. I don't know how she did it, but this cat doesn't listen. He jumps on the couch. He eats the plants. He bites you when you're not.
He bites Sway.
Yo, he bit me,
everybody. He bites everybody. If you stop petting him when he finally wants to be your friend and become a pet, that's the thing. Cats aren't cuddly. They want a couple of minutes of your attention, and then they go about their business. So when you're not appreciating that time, Sway, he bites you.
Yo, man, I gave your cat more. Nobody was paying attention to that damn cat, Holly. And
Nobody.
I gave it attention.
Nobody,
So,
Holly.
I mean, how are the kids? Like, how are the kids handling this pandemic?
Well, it's like been an ebb and flow, right?
Yeah.
So I have 4 kids. The twins are 23, and then we have an 18-year-old and 16-year-old. So they just want to be with their friends, right? They just want to hang out with their friends. And then I'm like, the strict COVID mom. Like, I'm calling everybody's, parents to see how they handling it. And one of my kids' friends' moms were posting some like controversial like conspiracy theories about COVID. Like, is it real or is it not? I said, hold on, do you think it's real or not? Because my kid's hanging out with your kids. I need to know how y'all are doing. And that became a whole thing. So I am like going on Instagram, looking at people's posts and like, okay, she's okay. All right, they're okay. And so it's just become this crazy thing. But I took them with me, Sway, to shoot these Christmas movies in Canada. I just said, let's go. Let's just go up there. We were there for 2 months. I dragged them kicking and screaming, but they loved it. They could join a gym. They could go to the movie. If you could have seen us in the movies, like we ain't never been to movies before because you could go to the movies up there.
Yeah.
And so they loved Canada because Canada has done everything right. They've done everything right. And so to allow us to be able to we had to quarantine 2 hard weeks. We couldn't leave. I brought the dogs, speaking of pets, I brought the dogs up too. So we stayed in this house in Canada. We quarantined 2 weeks. We had to write down our temperatures every day. The government was watching us.
Damn.
We couldn't break quarantine. No, they were strict. And then once we cleared our COVID test, I went to set and started working. And the boys could have a light. So it made me kind of sad being up there because I was like, that's the way it should be for us. Like this could be us, but we messing around. So, but they're doing good. Thank you for asking.
Absolutely, because you got beautiful kids, and I think you guys are amazing parents. I love the work you do, especially with autism over the years. And then when I saw this movie, it made sense to me because I think right now, Christmas movies, there's something about Christmas, man. There's something about holiday movies that just kind of really settle you in. I think we all, as kids, gravitated towards that. So it gives you a sense of normalcy. And you're talking about this COVID situation and the pandemic. When you make films like this, it kind of reminds people that there's still things to be thankful for in the light that everything that's happening this year. Is that one of the reasons why you would gravitate towards a film like this?
Oh yeah, this is my 8th Christmas movie for this network, and I've really been excited to be able to create this joyful content, and it's something we need right now. And not only just to remind us of the things that we have and then being grateful, but also just also to try to bring us together a little bit more because we all love Christmas, we all love the holidays. But I was especially excited about these movies because they're some of the more diverse and inclusive movies that this network has produced. And then they also let me get behind the scenes and executive produced, along with Al Roker. We produced the Christmas Doctor, which aired last weekend, but will also keep re-airing. You know how Hallmark does; they keep them movies going.
Oh, I love it. Yeah.
So excited about this movie. I play a locum tenens doctor. Those are temporary doctors that fill in for other doctors. And since we shot it right in the middle of the pandemic, it really felt especially warm and fuzzy because it was like, okay, this is an homage to frontline doctors and nurses. And then we had, some little Black holiday Christmas love. We had a little of that in there.
Okay.
And that was good. It was a little, it's never sexy and romantic shooting kissing scenes before the pandemic. But let me tell you something. After the pandemic and during, that is the most unsexy shit you've ever seen in your life.
Why you say that,
because
Holly?
You have COVID protocol. You have to gargle with these little concoctions. You got to spray. Every 10 minutes, you got to spray your face with alcohol, like just regular old rubbing alcohol. You got to spray it. Then you got to do this. You got to, twirl 3 times and do a backflip. It's crazy. And so I don't know how Adrian Holmes is a great actor, Canadian actor. I don't know how me and this brother made this kiss look so hot. I was watching going, wow, you would never know we both had spit buckets at the end of that scene.
Oh, damn, Holly.
Wow.
Wow. You hear that?
I've ruined the image, but we made it look good, Sway. We made it look good.
All I'm thinking is the spit reservoir in your jaws. I can't even get
yeah,
you.
I was gonna ask Holly about that too, because like you had mentioned Instagram and watching people and hanging out, and I follow a lot, because what I noticed about you on Instagram, Holly, like you're very supportive. Like you support LL's wife Simone and everything that she's doing. Like I always see you put your hearts up. You obviously. There's a lot of pictures with you and Magic Johnson and his lovely wife and Sam. You're just always super supportive. But then when you guys, since you're back home from work and you guys are in California, how are you all socializing though? Like in groups, are you making everybody, or your friends making everybody take COVID tests as well? Say if somebody's birthday is coming up, how do you get to socialize regularly then?
Just like that, Heather. So we take tests. We get tested regularly. I mean, I get tested so much. I mean, I had to get tested so much for work. And then now I'm shooting a TV series here in LA, which is a whole nother type of COVID protocol. And I'm getting tested 3 times a week. And you got that circle that understands what this is. Some of us have comorbidities. I hate that word, but it just means you got something else that everybody has. A lot of people have asthma and things. And so we're all sort of looking out for each other, and you feel out your friends. Which ones are taking this seriously, and which ones are going out and doing too much? Do you know what I mean? And you don't want to be judgy. You don't want to be judgy about that. But I was staring out the window Rodney said, if you don't get out the window, remember Gladys Kravitz in Bewitched? I was the neighbor that was just staring out the window, because across the street, these nice little black folks moved in, and I keep wanting to, leave a note and saying, hi, how are you? Nice to see you, and who are you, and how you doing? But they had a big party the other night, and I was like, okay, I don't like them no more.
Yeah.
I don't like them no more. I'm not coming over there.
Yo.
My neighbors might have did the same thing with me, Holly. That's why we're asking. But Sway can attest to this. Like, I literally celebrated my birthday Saturday, and but everybody, it wasn't a lot of us. I'll start with that. But it probably looked like a lot if my neighbors were peeking out the window too. But I had everybody tested. Everybody came with their negativity, which was positive. You know what I mean? Like, it was good.
I love it. Oh, negative people only. Negative people only. And the thing is that so for instance, when it was our 25th anniversary during this time, we were going to have we was going to go to Mexico and take everybody. And, 25 years, it's a big deal. And we couldn't do it. So we gathered some friends. And it was like 8 or 9 of us. Everybody got tested. And then we did a driveway serenade. I surprised Rodney with Jeffrey Osborne, who sang our song, Love Ballad. And Jeffrey came, and Jeffrey at that point had not left the house. He was like, Holly, I'm leaving the house for y'all, but y'all don't better not give me that Rona. And I said, Jeffrey, come on, and we're going to all be negative together, and you're going to pop out the sunroof and start singing, am never and it was so dope. It was so dope, and it was great. And so we have our groups of people that we all we're like-minded.
That's
like-minded.
Yep.
There you go.
I love that.
I'm not mad at that, man. Holly Robinson-Peete, we ain't playing games, man.
Nope.
You brought up your husband, Rodney, man. I love that guy. I can't believe I know him, Holly. I don't know if you ever noticed. I don't say a whole lot to him, because I was such a big fan, and I don't want to get groupied out around him. He doesn't, and we, because we known each other for years and crossing,
right.
And I always keep it 100. I speak more to Holly than I do him, Heather. Like, so,
yeah,
wow.
And so we got Lewis on the line from El Paso, Texas.
What's up, Lou?
Lou, Grand Rising.
How y'all doing? How you doing?
Doing well, man. Say hello to Holly Robinson-Peete.
How you doing, Miss Holly? How you doing?
Hey, Lewis, how you doing?
I'm doing absolutely fine. I just wanted to, give you a little bit of blessing and a little bit of history. 10 years ago, I had the honor of, I'm in the United States Army. I had the honor of being with your husband downrange and played a game of football. I'm not sure if you remember when he came to Iraq.
Tostitos,
in 2010.
Thing?
Yes, ma'am.
Wow.
I played along with your husband, and I actually took him around the whole installation that we had, and showed him how unsafe it was, and I made sure I brought him back to you. And then following that, a month later, we went to Phoenix, where he reunited me with my family. We snuck out of Iraq to do the surprise with the family on the field in Phoenix. And our family has always loved what you and your husband do. Yes. And I am so, so grateful for you allowing him to put himself in harm's way. I mean, with this pandemic going on, he put himself in harm's way just to come give us a little bit of recognition that we do care about each other outside of what we do every day. And my mother loves everything you do. She watches every single one of your movies. And I sat there and I talked with your husband about your children. He asked about how my children were doing. And, you know, just around this time, I saw that you was on because I listen to Sway every morning. And I just wanted to give you the utmost respect and blessings to allow your husband to come out there to spend that time with us.
Wow. Man.
Okay, I am a total mess right now. I mean, that is the sweetest thing. Thank you so much, Lou. We were just talking about that trip because of the holiday the other day, and he posted some pictures of it on his Instagram, and we talked about it. He said he was telling me how much that trip meant to him. So he is going to die when I tell him that I had a chance to talk to you. And if he were not on the radio himself right now, he does a sports radio show, he would have hopped on and said hello to you. Can we exchange information at least so you guys can reconnect?
Yeah, you know, I'm gonna write down Louis' information right now, and
yeah,
then I'm gonna give it to you. I'm gonna give it to you, Holly. And then
why you got me crying in the morning, Sway?
It's all right, Holly. It's the holiday season. It's the holiday season.
That's what we was trying. We had a bet that we would make you cry, so I win, Holly. Thank you.
Oh my gosh. Oh my God, that is beautiful.
Yo, Louis, I owe you, man. I'll invoice you. Okay? No, I'm joking with you. Louis, thank you for your call and thank you for your service.
Louis, we'll be in touch.
God bless you, Louis.
Okay.
Take care.
Man, we got a really important caller right here. Sharon in Tennessee. You want to make a comment, Sharon?
I like that name.
Yeah.
Y'all was sitting there talking about, like, the training of the cat. You the train a cat? I have a little cat named Mello, and that thing's just like a dog. I mean, you tell it to lay down, it'll lay down.
Yeah.
Put it outside until it gets its ass in the house. It'll run right back in the house.
You could train a cat.
I think it thinks it's a dog. Yeah.
Okay, well, you learn a new thing every day because I never knew I could train.
My mom had our cats trained, Holly. Sway, you can train. You can train them, but it takes a lot. You got to be on it. And, you know, initially we weren't home enough. You know, I used to send Sway pictures of my cat when this pandemic started, Holly, to say, like, my cat was unhappy that I was home. Like, he wanted the house to himself. It's like, why are you here? It was bad.
That is hilarious. He was like, "Can I have my time now? Can you go somewhere?"
That cat was pissed.
Go to work.
Hey, Sharon, thank you for that, man. We needed that confirmation. Thank you. You're a citizen, bro.
No problem. Hold them heads up.
You already know it, family. You already know. Hey, Holly. Let me ask you this real quick before I take this last caller. 21 Jump Street, hanging with Mr. Cooper. You've seen a lot of these shows. I'm sure people have asked you, but a lot of these shows are being redone, remade, and they're getting a lot of success out of it. Folks are getting, you know, some new life off of these shows being remade. Has there been any talks about hanging with Mr. Cooper or 21 Jump Street or remake lately?
I was on the phone with Mark Curry last night talking about this. We've been talking about this for years. Wow. I told ABC and Warner Brothers they needed to reboot the whole TGIF franchise. Like, it made total sense. Just wipe the slate clean and give us TGIF again, because that was a time in the 90s when everybody was feeling some kind of way. It's nostalgic. They did it with Full House, and we have the same executive producer. So I was like, why can't we do it? So I've been trying to push that way, and there was some talk about it, and then I think one of the cable stations picked up a bunch of the old shows and stuff. And so, the answer is yes. I would love to reboot it. I've talked to Mark about it. Raven Simone said she'd do it. Dawn Lewis even said she'd come back and do it. So I've tried to spearhead it. I think we have a good chance of getting something done. 21 Jump Street, probably not, just because Johnny Depp is just on another planet right now. Like, he's just a different cat. different cat. So he, speaking of cats, and he is just the kind of guy that I just don't know, like, what from 1 minute to the next. But I think there should be a 21 Jump Street remake with like younger kids, right? And not the movie version where everybody's making jokes and stuff, but like a real serious version of that. I think would be a great show to do, a great show to reimagine. So I'm down for all of it. You know, I'm OG. I've been doing this for a long time. I'll take the work. And
there you go.
I'm all about it.
Well, we got the work coming up right now, December the 5th at 8 p.m. Evergreen, bells are ringing. That's on a Saturday on the Hallmark channel. Man, tell Rodney we said what up, man. Please, we got to get him as a guest on our show. He got to do the sports report with Heather B. We got to do that.
Thank you.
Okay.
Thank you so much for that. That was such a beautiful surprise, and I can't wait to tell him he's going to trip. Because we were literally just talking about that trip to Iraq and how Rodney just left and went. And it was such a beautiful moment. Well, you know I love talking to you guys, and thank you so much for having me always.
All right, and then hold on the line. I'm going to have OQ give you that Lewis's number, the guy that called, just so you have it. And if you connect with him, that would be awesome. I mean, you know.
Oh, for sure. No, we're going to do that. That's going to happen today. Rodney will, because we were literally talking about it, Sway, last night or 2 nights ago, and I was like, gosh, that trip was, you didn't even like, it was, I'm still bugging about it.
There you go. It was good for you to come home today, Holly. That's what that was all about. Coming back to Sway in the morning. Come on. You know the energy. You know the vibe. Love you.
I know it.
Tell the family we said love them.
I will. Heather, happy holidays and hope your cat won't bite Sway again.
I know.
Okay.
Thank you, Holly.
Heather in the